Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to another Fuzzy Slipper edition of the wonderful program, Cape Conversations. We're going to have a lot of fun today talking about some things going to do in spring. Spring is so important to us right now more than ever. And gosh, today is a snowy, rainy, gray day on Cape Cod. But we're going to have a lot of sunshine coming in because we're going to talk to somebody who knows all about spring and what to do when it becomes spring, all your plantings and all your flowers. It's going to be fabulous. So come along, let's have another Cape conversation. Thank you so much again for joining me today. I am with the beautiful and lovely and talented and has the biggest green thumb I've ever seen, Donna Coutil from Scenic. Hey, Donna.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, listen,
This
welcome.
is very different.
Yes, this
Thank
is the
you.
We call this the Fuzzy Slipper edition of Cape Conversations because I have on my fuzzy slippers.
I wish. I have my boots on right now. It's so
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So tell me, Donna, where are you in all this craziness? How are you guys holding up?
Well, we're actually we're very fortunate because we are deemed an essential business, so we can stay open because we are feed and grain, we are agriculture, so obviously we supply all the needs that farmers need for their crops and their produce. We also sell vegetable seeds and vegetables and herbs and fruits, so we're allowed to stay open.
That's
And
great.
we've been pretty busy because what's the one thing that the internet is telling everyone to do? Get outside, garden, grow your own. So we have had a tremendous increase in first timers.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, a lot of younger families, newer families, they're just starting their own vegetable gardens. They have a lot of questions. It's really exciting, actually, to help guide them through it. And then we have a lot of the old timers and the tried and trues, and they're just doubling the production of what they're growing this year.
Right.
As far as vegetables, yeah.
Right.
It's been interesting. It's been a lot of emails. It's been a lot of phone calls. A lot of like you said, no social distancing. A lot of people aren't coming into the store, but they're calling, emailing. I'm getting Instagram messages. I'm getting Facebook messages. And it's been a lot of tagging on Facebook too, as far as tagging me personally, tagging Scenic Roots. If somebody, a friend of a friend of a friend has a question, they're now tagging us and we're answering those questions. So it has been a lot of information going out there in the social media realm and via phone. The phone calls are nonstop.
Wow.
So we're staying relevant. We're trying to stay relevant as much as we can.
Well, and here's the thing. We all need, not only do we need to be outside, but there's something about when you're planting or you're working in the garden, even if you really don't like it that much, when you're doing that, though, there's something that just makes you feel healthy. I mean, it's a healthy thing, right?
Absolutely.
It's like getting your hands dirty.
Fresh air, you're in the dirt.
How much healthier can you get?
My mom said if people don't have pristine gardens by the end of all this, then she doesn't understand what they've been doing.
Well, you must be busy because I can hear the phone in the background.
Yeah, I think Jeff's on the phone with somebody and we're getting a phone call. So that's what I mean with these phone calls.
Right. Well, I know I called in and because I have a little bit of a health issue, not a major thing. I'm not going to drop dead tomorrow. I'm sure there are people that might wish, but no, not really. So, but I do. And I called you and I called you and I gave you my credit card over the phone. You didn't go to Acapulco because here you sit. Not that it would have gotten you that far anyway. And you said, just come in and pick out your pansies and get out of here. And that's what I did. It was so easy and so simple.
Yeah. So we're doing the same thing. We're doing, hang on one second.
Yeah.
We'll have to read that one.
Can you shut the door?
That's the answering machine.
Oh, Sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. We'll cut it here. Somebody will. I won't because I don't know how to do it. I'm going to stop recording for a sec. So I called in and gave you my credit card number. And as I said, you didn't go to Acapulco with it. I drove up, I got my pansies, and I drove away. And now I have sweet little faces in all my little pots up close to the street and in front of my house, which just made me happy immensely.
Yeah, so this is the thing, you know, and as any business right now, things are changing weekly per guidelines of the state and the legislation. So we're taking it weekly or we're taking it day by day. We are allowing people in our store right now because I honestly feel safe in my own store.
Right.
I have full control over, I feel control over what I disinfect, where a customer goes, how I interact with them, and how they're paying. So I feel more comfortable in my own store than I do at the supermarket or anywhere else because I don't know what anybody else is disinfecting. So right now we are letting limited people in at a time, and that may change. That may change with our comfort level, and that's up to Jeff and I. It's just the two of us working right now, my brother and I. We're not allowing any other employees in at this time because we care for their safety too.
Sure.
And so then we're doing curbside pickup. You can call ahead and we'll have everything outside ready for you to pick up. And we also started doing more deliveries.
Oh, you did?
You know, we're adjusting with everyone else. Yeah. And
so are you doing,
you know, we're trying to make it happen.
Are you doing planters now? So if I called in and said, gee, I have 4 planters in the front of my house, you'd come out and do them and go away? Or how does that work?
Well, I can do that. I mean, right now it's very early spring, so we only have pansies and alyssum and some daffodils. We don't have any of the fun summer stuff. That doesn't really happen until around Mother's Day anyway. And we could be in a whole different situation by then.
Fingers crossed.
That is our plan.
Right.
Yeah, but that's our plan. We will continue to do more deliveries. We will continue to do custom planters for people. We will go to your house and do them. We are in talks with one of our staff to do online consultations.
Nice.
So kind of like a Zoom, right? No one's doing that. So those of you who need your yard designed or are, you know, looking for advice when we would do site visits, we're going to do it online so you can walk around with your computer or your phone and show us your yard, and we can do consultations that way. So that's, you know, obviously what's going on right now forced our hand into that.
Right.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Again, the more relevant we can stay in our customers' minds and in their lives, easier the transition out of this will be.
Sure. And you know, it's funny, I've talked to David King, you know, of Cotuit Center for the Arts. I had a long Cape conversation with him, and I talked to David Sampson, our our head of selectmen here in town about all of this. And one thing that comes out of all of this is it's the small businesses that are going to get us through. However, that said, people don't understand that from the rich, I say the old rich white guy, which is probably very prejudiced on my part, who has $1 zillion in the stock market. He doesn't realize, as he's losing that money, that he's affecting all of us, down to probably your business where you buy from growers, and growers have to have people standing 6 feet apart and don't have enough people planting. I mean, it must all just trickle down.
Yeah. So, and that's a good point. I literally just got an email from one of our largest growers who supply a lot of our flower material as far as the wave petunias and the vinca vine and sweet potato vine, and they are cutting back our order that I had pre-ordered in October. And they apologize profusely, of course, but from what's happening with them in Canada, their production team was cut because, like you said, they can all stand 6 feet apart. So they can't keep up with the demand that's happening. So now they're cutting our order that I was relying on in May. So now with that one, I have to scramble
Sure.
to try and find replacements, which, which I've already talked to Paul from Crow Farm, and, he's looking to supplement me in some of the ways of things that I wouldn't usually order from him. So he's all ready to start pitching in on that. So like
Good.
you said, we're all in this together and we all have to support each other.
Well, and that's true. And
How many times have you gone out to eat?
0. Well, we have ordered out. That's the good news.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I have been eating out more than I ever have before this because I want to support people. And
Right.
last week I realized I ate out like 8 times. And I was like,
God.
That's more than I've done in a month. But it was breakfast, it was lunch, it was dinner, and I'm just like, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. I was like, but I got to tail back on that a little bit, but it's nice to do for people.
Well, it is. And again, that whole shop local thing is really true. The more money you spend within our community, the more of the money stays in our community. And I know you're really a strong supporter of that because you are an independent business. However, I think you also know probably the facts and the dollar signs behind it that make it so. So
yeah, absolutely.
So you've been eating out a lot. Now you just need them to come in and get to buy stuff so they can do their kitchen gardens, right?
Yeah, it's April, right? So it's spring, and it's time for everyone to continue on with their gardening that they usually would do at this time. So, you're getting your lawns prepped. You're putting down your step 1, you're putting down your weed killer, you're putting down moss killer, you're liming your lawns. You're fertilizing your garden beds with like espoma plant tone and holly tone. You're adding in compost. You're turning over your vegetable beds and adding in compost. Vegetable beds, you're even starting your lettuce, all your leafy greens, your carrots, your beets, onions, potatoes. I mean, this is peas. This is the time now for all that stuff. You're doing a lot of light pruning and heavy pruning with ornamental grasses. You're pruning some of the paniculata hydrangeas. You're pruning back any perennials and roses that you didn't do in the fall. So April is a huge month for gardening as far as producing, actually, as far as growing vegetables and as far as cleaning up your yard. So now is the time for everyone to get out there anyway.
So I've got a question for you. If it's time for lettuce, you're not talking about starts, you're talking about seeds.
Well, we have lettuce starts, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, Swiss chard, peas, strawberries, and then you can directly sow your seeds in the ground right now too, as far as lettuce, spinach, collards, kale, all that good stuff.
Okay, so I bought from you garlic last fall. I planted it in a raised bed. It's not a raised bed, it's like a table bed. It's tall. My son-in-law built it for me. It's actually a pretty cool thing. And I've put lettuce in there, I've done broccoli in there, I've done peas in there even, all kinds of great things. And I get enough for 2 people, which is all we want is for 2 people. I'm not that I don't like to share, but Anyway, the long and short of it is I decided I would plant the garlic. And I thought, well, it's not going to come up because squirrels seem to take it out of this, they seem to be out there. Well, they didn't. Now they're coming up. So I've got greens about, if you can see that, maybe that tall little things coming up. How long do you wait before I do anything with it?
So what's recommended with garlic is those scapes will continue to get taller and they'll flower. And what they say is when this, kind of like when daffodils go by, you know how the greenery starts to turn a little brown and fall over?
Yep.
That's when you harvest your garlic. That generally happens sometime in the summer,
Okay, like June,
where the
July.
green leaves start to piddle out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I kept saying, oh, well, the squirrels didn't get it this year, so I must be doing something right this year. They're
You're
terrible.
lucky.
I know, I hate those squirrels. And also now I have lavender, both edible lavender and ornamental lavender. So I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't cut them back in the fall. Can I cut them back in the spring?
You can cut them back in the spring, but not knowing how large they are,
They're
what I would
big.
first tell someone is cut them back a third.
Okay.
So, you should be cutting back your lavender every fall, or early spring is fine too, because they're a woody ornamental.
Right.
So I generally tell people to cut back a third or halfway, and that's it. So what you essentially are doing is you're cutting the first top of growth off, and you're forcing them to continue to grow in from the middle out.
Gotcha.
Because if they're left alone, those woody ornamentals, right, they go all wrangly, they kind of go sideways, and there's sometimes nothing in the middle, and then they just get off as far as their size. So I would cut a third to a half now.
Okay. Oh, give me something to do on Saturday on the nice warm day we're supposed to have.
Oh, it's going to be great. I'm so excited.
I
But
know.
I tell you, we're paying for what we had this winter. I kept telling every customer that came in the winter that was like, oh, this is so much fun. This is so nice. I was like, wait till April. We're going to pay for it. It is cold. And next week doesn't look any better.
No, it doesn't. No, we're supposed to have those sunshine over the weekend, so that's okay.
Well, last year April was our worst month too. It was rainy and raw, for the majority of the month. So that's what Aprils tend to be now. We don't have a spring.
Well, I've lived here 40 years. I think in the time I've lived here 40 years, I'm from the Midwest. In the Midwest, the forsythia come out in March. They're all flowering in March. Here, sometimes maybe, but not usually until April. So
correct.
They have spring there. We don't have, in 40 years, I think I've seen 3 real springs, what I would call spring.
Yeah, well, the jury is still out, because we thought we might come March, because March was so nice. We thought we might have a spring. So maybe if we get past a little bit in April, it may turn on us for the better, I hope.
Right.
Because we all, we all need it. Kids don't want to be stuck in the house every day.
No.
Parents don't want to be stuck in the house every day. You run out of things to do, and you start getting on each other's nerves. If you can tell somebody to go outside for a walk,
it's a good thing.
Makes you feel better.
Right, it does. So that's a good segue, actually. What about for kids? Would you, obviously you sell plants, but would you tell parents, hey, you want to do something with your kids? Start some seeds. Start some little cups with seeds in them, and let them watch them grow and let them make it their own. That would be a fun activity for parents, I would think, every day taking care of them.
Oh, absolutely. We've been sharing activities on our Facebook and Instagram page, whether we created it ourselves or whether I'm sharing it from one of my companies that I buy from, like Espoma has been really good. Coast of Maine has been really good with kids activities. So I've been sharing those. And then we've had a couple other companies, like A Piece of Sandwich, who we work hand in hand on with our workshops. They've created a couple kids crafts projects. So we're allowing her to sell those out of our business because she doesn't have a storefront. So we're offering some DIY kits ourselves. We're offering seed starting kits for the kids. I know I'm a little late doing this, but we still have time. We are creating a whole web page for kids. So we'll have like coloring pages, scavenger hunts,
Oh,
kind
nice.
of like tips and tricks and things like that,
Yeah.
that the kids can pull off of our website. That's something that I wanted to do as one of my winter projects. And now that we're in the midst of all this, I feel like I'm a little behind on it. But
Well,
we're
who
going to
knew?
get that up and running within the next week. Because yeah, but we still have all of April, and who knows what we have in May. So the
Right.
more information and projects and things that we can provide on our website for kids, the better off. Yeah.
Well, it's what is wonderful about going down to Scenic Routes is whether you go inside or not, there's some color down there right now. And I know it's not as much color as you'll have in a few
Yeah,
weeks,
there is.
but it's something. And truthfully, I drove in, it was like, there are the pansies. I mean, it really is amazing when you get excited over the little pansy faces.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, besides daffodils, they're the first sign of spring, and they do make you smile.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of those, like you said, it's one of those welcoming faces.
Yeah, it is. It is. So tell me, Donna, if I want to, I can call you. I can tell me just about how you're dealing with this so I can call you. Tell me what I can do to get to you and order things and all that. Can I call you?
If you want to do an order, just call our line, 508-888-0044. We'll take your order over the phone. We'll have you pay for it. We'll put your name and stick it outside the door for you. If you're doing anything larger like mulch and soil, what we do is we either have it in a pile for somebody, or we have you beep at the front door and we'll go out and load you. So I mean, we literally will walk the store with you. If you want us to pick out your garden seeds for you, we literally will tell you the 10 varieties of tomatoes and carrots that we have and let you pick them out while we're on the phone with you. I mean, that again, that's just us staying relevant for you.
Right, right. And if I want starts, like lettuce starts and that kind of thing, it's in the back, in that back area.
Yeah, well, our nursery yard is open. So again, we're allowing people to go out there too. That's where, we have some perennials early started, and we have all our vegetable cold crops that are out there now. You can freely go out and pick those up. And if you wanted to, you can call us from the parking lot if you don't want to come in, and we can just charge you over the phone.
Sure, sure. And
we've done it. We've already done it.
Well, you and I have done it, I know. So the other thing is, what about herbs? You know how we all love our herbs. And of course, we all love basil, but it's a little too soon for basil, isn't it?
Yeah. Some people want basil for their kitchens right now, and I will tell you, I don't even carry it until close to Mother's Day. It is very cold sensitive, and you're not supposed to put it outside or in the ground until Memorial Day or later. Right. So that's one plant I don't get in until it's like almost absolutely safe to put it outside, because I would have to just keep it inside the store here to sell it. Right. And with basil, I'd rather just wait. Herbs will be rolling in. I do have parsley, I do have mint, I do have sage and thyme. We do have those because they're very hardy for the cold. Mm-hmm. And then, as the next couple of weeks roll in, probably mid-April, we'll have a lot more herbs too.
Excellent. Good. Well, you know what?
It's getting there.
Well, and here's the thing. At this point in time, we're all just trying to get along every day, but thinking about being able to plant something and be out in your yard, and the better days are coming. And at the end, this will end. Eventually, this will end. And so we've got to be ready with our vegetables so we can have cookouts and use fresh herbs and all that good stuff. And we can get them all at Scenic Routes. How about that?
And we can start Thirsty Thursday.
Yay! See, that's what I'm really disappointed about. I'd much rather be sitting with you.
I know. It's very odd, but again, as soon, I know businesses are worried about when we are able to open again. how slow the progression will be for people that trickle out, those first people who feel brave enough to go out, and then that next wave, and then that third wave. And, how long will that be before, the businesses feel a little normalcy of,
Right.
people coming into their businesses? We're all worried about that too. Right now we have one worry, and then when businesses are allowed to open up, you have that second worry about how long will it be till we can actually maybe start making some money again. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting when this is all over, how long it takes that first person to go out and feel comfortable about being out. And
Right.
are they still going to practice social distancing? Are they
Right.
going to continue to have their wipes, or are they going to be fully brave and just go out in the world?
I have a feeling people will still be a little bit shy of that. I do. I think people.
Absolutely.
And I think we're going to start using probably the Asian symbol of "nice to see you" as opposed to the big hug. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a whole new learning curve for us Americans.
Oh, it sure is. It sure is. But I've seen a lot of businesses, I don't want to say flourish, but they've changed their model, like something they would never think of doing. As far as, I have a friend who does guitar lessons, and and he's now doing them online, and he's doing them all up and down the East Coast now. It's not just his little niche in Plymouth. Like, he is realizing that there is a format for online, and so many of us are afraid of online.
Right.
I know we at Scenic Roots don't have an online shopping cart. You can't even prepay for a gift card. I mean, we're archaic too. But there are quite a few businesses that have jumped online and are actually doing well, and are expanding their businesses. And that's exciting for them too.
Well, it is. And I'll tell you just a quick story. My husband put up a thing yesterday on Facebook about, he put up a quote from somebody about writing a letter, about, sending somebody the written word in your own handwriting. And he sells note cards, right? So out of that, from somebody in New Jersey who can't get out of their house, did an order for a print and a couple of boxes of note cards. Now, is it going to make us rich? No. But he's satisfying something for a customer, and he's able to do it because he put it up online. And I think we're all kind of moving that direction. I really do. And someday you probably will have a shopping cart, where not where you might order plants, because those are a little more hard, but you have so many great items in your store, and pots and trinkety things and fun things and bird houses and bird feeders, that you probably would sell a lot of them.
Yeah, it's certainly forcing us to look at our business in a different way too. In the back of my head, it was always there. I always had it as a to-do list, to research it and look into it. And I always, the last 2 years, I've pushed it off. I'm like, no, that's not us. That's not us. But to offer another level to our customers, it doesn't mean we're getting rid of personal shopping and in-store shopping, right? It just offers another customer service level that we can offer to people.
Well, and it offers something to people who aren't close by, who go online and say, oh my gosh, that's a cute place, right? Gee, we're going down the Cape, let's stop in.
Yeah.
The other thing too, I think it also, I hate to say this, I really do, God, knock on something, my head. This may happen again. This whole craziness that we're going through.
Yeah.
So we all have to.
I had that conversation with my husband just the other day.
Yeah. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. And you've got a little girl who's absolutely the cutest thing since sliced bread. And so
I think so too.
Yeah. I got grandkids now. My kids are all off on their own. They can take care of themselves, but I worry about my grandsons and my granddaughters. So, again, I just think we all have to be prepared now. I think we are prepared now. I think we are preparing now, and we'll be in a much better place.
Yeah, it's like I listened to an interview that Brandon gave. He's from the Marshland restaurants,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just the other day, he mentioned how the restaurant world is already a stressed out business. They're high octane, go,
Right.
go, 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 go. He said, so, they were, not that they wanted this,
No.
but they were more prime for it
Right.
as far as, shuffle your feet, figure out what your next move is, and hit the ground running.
Right.
So, he said that type of industry, not that they've fully succeeded, but, they're making it happen. They're making it work.
Right.
And he said it was because they're so used to just going. So now all of us are changing our business model and how we operate our businesses. So you're right, Melinda, the next time this does happen, we're going to have those procedures in place. And not that we want it to happen,
No,
but
no.
we'll know what to do then.
Yeah. And I think it's the learning curve. And that's sometimes the toughest. And it's the toughest for all of us because I don't work full time anymore. I mean, I'm glad I'm not in the shopping center business anymore. That's for sure. I really am. But I want to
Oh
thank,
my, yeah.
yeah, nothing's open. I want to thank I want to thank you again for taking time with me. We got kind of a funky connection here. I think it'll work out okay. But if anybody out there wants to know anything about plants, I hate to do this to you, Donna, but I'm going to call Donna because she is absolutely the expert on everything that has to do with plants and planting. Yay! Number one. So,
Yeah.
Donna, thanks again, and we will talk again soon, I hope. I'll see you at a Thursday.
Okay. Thanks, Melinda. Thank you, everyone. Absolutely for Thirsty Thursday, and have a great spring. We hope to see you here.
Donna Catile, wasn't she sensational? Oh, lots of great ideas. And she's getting all these new plants in for spring. She'll help you with your garden. Oh, and wait a minute. What about planting of seeds right now? If you got little kids or grandkids, that would be a fun thing to do and watch them grow. So we could all use a little spring, and I hope you enjoyed today. So come along next time when we'll have another Cape conversation.